Oh, look at this. Isn't it stunning? Just randomly turned the camera on when I'm walking Sally on Whiteberry Beach. Here she comes. She's enjoying herself. She's had a good day. Come on then. You coming? Isn't that amazing? There's just enough noise in that sea to know that it's a sea and there's waves, but it's hardly any. A beautiful blue, and then a contrast with the sand and the blue sky as well. And this is dusk. Street lights are just coming on. She's been running about again, and she was running about this morning. I'll just let her do her own thing. Something about dusk, I just like it. You know, especially when it's peaceful like this. I'll go out to sea. Look at that. Just magic. There's like one bright light over there. I don't know what it is. I'll just focus in on it a little bit. See if I can see it. There it is. Yeah. Oh, it's a boat. That's what it is. It's a boat just most of the way over. It's just beautiful, isn't it? There's Sally. I'm like not concentrating here. Oh, it's right beside me, of course. There she is. Okay, come on, Sal. So I better not stand still too much because I'm meant to be walking about and I'm meant to be out giving Sally a bit of exercise. So I'll just keep plodding on. All right here. But you can listen to the sea. Can't say I know where the moon is. Just looking about. Right. Gosh, it just looks so great, doesn't it? Even the Holy Isle, you know. I'll just step over this little river here. That's where the coffee pot is, and the beginning of Golf Course Road, just up there. And that's Eden Lodge. Here comes wee Sal, just what I was talking about. Just running about, because she can. He's a good dog. She's been running a lot on this beach already, so to be fair, it would be. I wasn't planning like filming or even running or anything. I'm most of the way along the beach. I've been charging about earlier on, so she's done a lot of running. And she's still got some left. Still got a bit left. What is she? There's life in the old dog there. Is there anybody that doesn't like the sound of the waves or the rain? I don't think so. There she goes, running again. She hasn't seen those other dogs yet, I don't think. Alright. She's friendly. Come to say hello. The big one's friendly as well. Look at that. I'm not even running. She just has got some energy. She's a happy dog. And she's had a bath today. I'll come back to listening to the sea. I wasn't going to be filming. I've got nothing particularly to film for. This is me just out with Sally. I think that's just about perfect, isn't it? Now you can't even really see where the sea stops and the sky starts. You can just do it, but that's only because you can see the land on the far side. If I went to a bit where there wasn't really any land, you would know. It just merges, doesn't it? I don't know the name of that little bird that was making a noise there. That kind of well, it's a seabird, but I don't know. It's a common one. I've forgotten the name. So I'm pointing up at Mother Goose and Tro's Terrace. And that's Cooper Angus Caravan Park over there in Black Rocks. Look at this, and I've just happened to have come out just now, right? I haven't planned this. Look at that beach. It's perfect, isn't it? Look at that. I mean, if you're not on Arran and you're looking at this, you'd be thinking, that's just perfect. And this is my park. This is where I come to walk the dog. We don't have really a park here in the centre. There's one at Sambury's, playing field, but this is our park. Perfect, isn't it? The lights are coming on in force now. Sally's waiting for me. So we'll just go a little bit up here, because this is the end of the sandy bit here. But that's really, that's us at the end of Montrose Terrace here anyway, so. I remember about a year ago, maybe 18 months ago, a couple of years possibly, the council had said they were considering banning dogs from some of the beaches on Arran. I think there were a few beaches, not all of them. And one of them was Whiting Bay. That would have been a disaster, because this is where the dogs come. This is our park. You'd be putting them all on the road if that happened. My response to that was to post on Arran Community Forum that the beaches would be remaining dog friendly, because you can only enforce a ban on dogs on the beach as long as there's signs there banning them. I found out about this. I researched it. If there's no signs, then you can't be in trouble for taking the dog on the beach. It has to be a sign, and there's no way the signs were going to be surviving. They were going to be disappearing, and they never went up in the end, which is just as well. And I would have done that. There are too many signs telling us what to do already. I'll tell you that, like, there are signs for Was it? Don't feed the seagulls. That was ones that they've got in Brodick. Or we'll fine you £80 because they're dangerous animals. I mean, I've never heard of anybody being mauled by a seagull. I guess it's possible you could get a peck from one, you know, and it's quite a big bird. But really, on the scale of things, this is the. When I used to be a surveyor, and I had to study law for a while. It was one of the subjects of surveying. I passed the exams at part 1 and part 2, and but the word reasonable always came up in law. Everything's based on this word reasonable. Did you use reasonable force? Is it reasonable? You know, is the action reasonable to countermand the threat? Sally. Is it reasonable to put signs up banning somebody from throwing a chip to a seagull because of the threat from the seagull? And I'm not saying that there is no threat whatsoever from the seagull. I mean, there's a threat here on the beach, you know, of me being nipped in the toe by a crab or falling over and splitting my head open on a shell or something. But, you know, but it doesn't mean that I should never go on the beach, or I'd never run, or I'd never do anything. And so is it a big risk throwing a chip to a seagull? No, it isn't. You know, so that sign, to be honest, I just don't get it. It speaks volumes for me about how crazy we've come with being careful about everything. And banning dogs on the beach would have been on the same scale for me. The seagull signs are lucky to have survived this long. Because a lot of people I've spoken to feel the same about them. But the dog ones wouldn't have. And so I'm glad they didn't do it, because this is obviously a very safe environment for dogs and for people walking them. They could have had people killed on the roads just because they couldn't get on the beach. So, yeah, the risk is small on the beach, but big on the road. So I'm glad they didn't do it. Well, this is at the end here. I'm just going up onto the road now, so I'll maybe just stop here. The street lights look a little bit like stars, don't they? Getting much darker. When I started filming just further along, what have I been doing? Filming for 10 minutes now? It was lighter than this, wasn't it? Look how dark that is now, and the sky looks really dark grey, like menacing. And there is rain coming. I've seen XC weather. That's why I haven't got my guitar out tonight, actually, because I'm expecting it maybe to rain before I get back. So there's a mixture of darkness and cloud coming, which is giving it that kind of menacing look. It's quite menacing, isn't it? More menacing than the seagull, I would say. Anyway, there we go. On that note, I better get in before I get menaced to death by the dark clouds and fined £80. Adios.